What if buying a single property could unlock a second residency or even a passport in another country? Because in 2026, that's not just possible. Some countries are practically inviting you to do it. But here's the catch. The best options aren't the ones everyone talks about. And here's where most people get this wrong. They focus on the cheapest option or the fastest passport, instead of asking one simple question: which country actually improves everyday life the most? Because some of these options look incredible on paper, but in reality, they come with trade-offs that only show up later. From Europe to the Caribbean to Asia, these are 10 countries where buying property can open the door to residency, and in some cases, much more. Some are obvious, some are hidden, and a few come with details that most people only find out after they've already invested. Let's start with the one dominating headlines right now. Turkey offers one of the fastest routes to citizenship through property. Buy real estate worth $400,000 and you can qualify for a Turkish passport, often within just a few months. That means visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 100 countries, plus a second passport that can act as a serious backup plan. But here's what most people miss. Not every property actually qualifies. Government-approved valuations matter, and many buyers end up overpaying just to hit the threshold. On top of that, you're required to hold the property for at least 3 years, so this isn't a quick flip. Still, for anyone focused on speed and a direct passport outcome, this remains one of the strongest options globally. And in many cases, buyers aren't just doing this for travel. They're using it as a long-term safety net. A second option in a world that's becoming more unpredictable. But what if a passport isn't the goal, and the real target is Europe? Greece has quietly become one of the most attractive residency options left in the EU. In certain regions, you can still qualify with a €250,000 property investment, far lower than many other European programs. That gives you residency in an EU country, plus access to travel across the entire Schengen zone. No strict requirement to live there full-time, so it can function as a lifestyle option rather than a full relocation, a place to visit, rent out, or hold long-term while keeping flexibility elsewhere. However, prices in high-demand areas have already increased, and some regions now require higher investments. So knowing where to buy makes all the difference. For anyone wanting a base in Europe without fully committing, this is where Greece stands out. It offers flexibility, something most residency programs simply don't. Now, what if Europe isn't the priority at all? What if the goal is lifestyle, income potential, and zero tax? The UAE, especially Dubai, offers residency through property starting at around AED 750,000, roughly just over $200,000. No income tax, a rapidly growing economy, and one of the most modern, globally connected cities in the world. This isn't the cheapest option on the list, but it might be the most powerful lifestyle upgrade. But it's not for everyone, and that's where a lot of people get caught out. And here's the part people underestimate. Rental yields can be strong, tourism is booming, and demand continues to rise, meaning your property isn't just a visa tool, it can also perform as an investment. But not every option requires that kind of budget. Costa Rica is one of the most underrated residency plays right now. By combining property ownership with income requirements, residency becomes very achievable and at a much lower cost than most people expect. Think tropical beaches, year-round warm weather, and a stable political environment. And for many Western buyers, it offers something even more valuable. Simplicity, no complicated bureaucracy, no extreme investment thresholds, just a straightforward path into a relaxed lifestyle. Now here's where things start to get interesting, because the next option is barely being talked about. Hungary recently brought back its golden visa program, but with a twist. Instead of buying physical property directly, you invest around €250,000 into an approved real estate fund. That gives you residency in the EU. And because this program is still relatively new, it hasn't yet been flooded with demand, which means early movers may have a major advantage before it becomes mainstream. And that's usually how these opportunities work. The people who move early benefit the most, while everyone else only hears about it once prices rise and rules tighten. But what if staying close to home matters more than chasing Europe? Mexico remains one of the most practical and popular choices for Americans and Brits. And for many people, this ends up being the one they wish they'd done sooner. While it's not a strict buy property and instantly get residency system, owning property combined with financial proof makes residency very achievable. And here's why it stands out. Flights are short, costs are low, and expat communities are everywhere, from beach towns to major cities. For many people, this isn't just a backup plan. It's a full lifestyle upgrade without needing to move halfway across the world. Now let's talk about a country that almost nobody considers, but probably should. Latvia offers residency through a €250,000 property investment, plus a relatively small state fee. It's part of the EU, it's in the Schengen zone, and it's far less competitive than places like Spain or Portugal, which creates a unique opportunity. Less demand often means better property value and less competition when applying. This is one of those quiet entry points into Europe that tends to get overlooked until it doesn't. And when that shift happens, these quieter programs often become the most competitive overnight. But not every country makes it that straightforward. Thailand is where things take a different turn. You can't simply buy property and gain residency outright, but through programs like the Thailand Elite Visa combined with property ownership, you can effectively create a long-term stay solution. And for many people, that's more than enough. Low cost of living, incredible food, strong digital nomad infrastructure. So while it's not technically a traditional property for residency system, it delivers something just as valuable, long-term access to one of the most desirable lifestyles in the world. Now back to something more direct and structured. Panama has long been a favorite among expats, and for good reason. Through its friendly nations visa and property-related routes, residency can be obtained relatively easily. It uses the US dollar, it has a stable banking system, and it's strategically located between North and South America. This isn't the most exciting option on the list, but it might be one of the most reliable. And the final option might actually be the easiest win on this entire list, one of the simplest and most accessible options available right now. The Dominican Republic offers a surprisingly easy pathway. Buy property, meet basic financial requirements, and residency becomes very achievable. Lower entry costs compared to most countries on this list, a Caribbean lifestyle, and growing interest from expats looking for something more relaxed. This is one of those options that doesn't get much attention, but quietly ticks a lot of boxes. So whether the goal is a second residency, a lifestyle upgrade, or even a long-term backup plan, there are more options available right now than ever before. But choosing the wrong one can cost more than just money. It can lock you into a place that doesn't actually fit your lifestyle. The smartest moves aren't always the cheapest or fastest. They're the ones that give you the most freedom long-term. The real advantage comes from understanding which one actually fits your situation, not just chasing the lowest price or the fastest passport. And if making the move is part of the plan, flights, relocation, and timing can make a huge difference in overall cost. There are links in the description to compare the best value travel options and routes before making any decisions. Because sometimes the smartest investment isn't just where you buy, it's how you get there.